Right now. What's good, y'all? YouTube, Facebook, and IG. What is good, Jasmine? What's up? Yes, please, can you guys jump over to YouTube or Facebook? YouTube is probably going to be the easiest to join us so you can see the stream so I can look in one direction. I know, Jasmine, you a pro at this, but I don't know if I can do this. This is weird to me. IG, they need to get it together. They need to get it together and let us be able to stream with Ecamm on IG. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the first iteration, the first episode, the first video in the Recession-Proof Designer series. And shout out to everybody in Good to Go in my community who helped me name it, because I didn't really know what to name it. $1 Million Designer, Recession-Proof Designer. I didn't know. So we ran a poll in a group and my folks helped me name the series yesterday. So shout out to y'all. But what's good? Let me just say hey to some folks. And if you're on Facebook, if you could just click the link, it should be a link in the description where you can click that and it will give Ecamm access to see your name. So I can put comments on the screen like this and it won't say Facebook user. What's up, Kath? What is good? Tuning in on YouTube. It's good to see you. Great to see you guys. Jasmine, what's good? Shar, what up, what up, what up? James, what's happening? And we got a lot of people in the building. Jen, my family's in the building. Let's go. Zandre, it's always good to see you, my brother. And we got folks joining in on Instagram as well. Still weird for me, but what's good? Tommy, what up? I see you on IG because you hard-headed on Facebook. You don't like to click that link, but it's good to see you, my brother. Who else we got on IG? The one said, what up to you already? Daryl Gray Marketing. What's happening? I'm Prince. All right, y'all. We're going to get into it. I don't want to waste you guys' time. I'm too pumped. I'm too pumped. So people in my Good to Go community, you already know how I get down. But to do this more publicly, it's really exciting and a little nerve-wracking, to be honest. I was texting my wife, like, I don't know why I'm nervous. Like, I don't go live all the time. But it's usually just for Ecamm or in my group. But I'm out here, y'all. It's time. It is time. So, yeah, we're going to get into it. So today, well, first, if you don't know me, my name's Marshall Fox. I'm a graphic designer, recently turned graphic design coach, mentor. I mentor and coach other graphic designers and help them have a sustainable, massively profitable business. So like I mentioned in the comment, the caption, a lot of designers are struggling. A lot of designers are going out of business, especially right now. As inflation is happening, the recession is looming. Some say we're already in a recession. The thing is, the amount of low-paying clients there are is tough. It's tough. So it's like, just like the economy, you hear about the economy, like the lower class and middle class is getting squeezed out. Same things happen with designers. So the designers who are so used to serving the low paying clients, those low paying clients who typically shop based on price, they're trying to find a better deal. They're shopping around. So then you get left like, okay, I need some clients now. So, but there are more high paying clients being created than high value designers. So that's what we're going to talk about today, this evening. Okay. And shout out to the replay gang if you're watching later on, because this will be recorded and I'll send this out as well. But yeah, we're going to get into it, y'all. We're going to get into it. Y'all on IG, please head over to YouTube. You're being hard headed. Please head over to YouTube. I appreciate it. Yes, YouTube, YEWTEWB from Baltimore, if you couldn't tell. All right, y'all. We're going to get into this. Elysia, what's good, my brother? I got to catch up with you. Faisal, what's happening, man? Look, I sent out the email. In my nervousness, I sent out the email an hour early talking about I was live. I'm like, Lord, why did I do that? Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to get into these nuggets. So just stick with me. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the 3 types of designers, the 3 types of clients, the only way to move from the bottom level to the top level, and what you can do to increase revenue right away. That the number one reason most designers aren't making any real money. Okay. All right. So Niggy, what's good? Trayon, what's happening? This is okay. All right. So the 3 types of clients, there are 3 types of clients. And look, this is from my experience, y'all. Take it with a grain of salt. Use it as a guide, not gospel. I got to leave that disclaimer there because I know how some folks can get, especially as I started coaching. There's some know-it-alls out there like they would challenge. This is in my experience, all right? I'm speaking on my experience. So my experience, 3 types of clients, all right? The low-paying clients, that's level 1, okay? They're just starting their business. They're not making any revenue in their business. They may have other businesses. They may even have a full-time job, but they just started a company on the side, or this may be a new company and they're not making any revenue with that company. And, you know, of course, they will want to invest the money they make from that company into branding and web design services and stuff like that. They don't have a team and they shop based on price only. And they want the best quality for the cheapest price. They're not that motivated to really invest at a high level into their brand, understandably, and they don't really see the value of what you can do at a high level. Okay, so that's level 1. That's level 1. Those are the low paying clients. Joe, what's good, bro? All right, so the mid paying clients. All right, so this is level 2. They have their business going. All right, so they're making revenue. They're starting to build a team, and they shop based on price mostly, but they're starting to consider shopping based on value, and they're reinvesting back into their business with the revenue that they're making from their business. And they're willing to invest more, but up to a point. All right, so it's usually a stretch. And they value what you do, but may not have the means to pay you premium fees. And they're starting to be motivated to really brand themselves or brand their businesses. All right. So level 3, high paying clients. Their businesses are booming. All right. They got it out the mud without premium branding or websites. So this is a lot of the clients that I work with now. They're high level, high paying clients. Right. So I alluded to this before in one of my posts on Facebook. Pretty much all of my 7-figure clients, 8-figure clients, they got there without premium branding, without a premium website. Okay. So they got out the mud without that. They see the value of what you do because they're out of sync right now. So when they come to you, they're motivated to fix that because they know, okay, they're killing the game. They're having tremendous impact. They're changing lives. They're making a lot of money, but they know that if you look at them online, their branding, their website presence, it's just out of sync. It's not in alignment with the quality of their products and services. Okay. So that's why they're motivated to fix that quickly. All right. So they have the means to pay your fee, whatever it is. They usually go for the most expensive option because that's who they are. So they're not like the level 1 clients who they typically go for the cheapest option. All right. And they invest aggressively into their businesses. They're at the top of their craft and they want to work with service providers at the top of theirs. All right, so that is the high paying client. And just a quick note on investing in their businesses. Y'all, I haven't always worked with high level clients, but as I started to transition, I started to pick up cues and clues. Like I had one client, for example, off script real quick. So it was a $20,000 project, right? So if you're watching, what up? I'm not going to say your name. The $20,000 project. So I was like, okay. And me, you know, as designers, we deal with imposter syndrome. We try to break it out, and we tend to put our own relationship with money. We project that onto our businesses. We shouldn't do that. All right. So I was like, you know what? It's $20,000. Instead of doing 50-50, I'll break it up into 4 payments. I do 5, 5, 5 and 5 over the course of, let's say, 2 months. I think every 2 weeks it was going to be a payment of 5,000. So this was at the end of the year. So the payments were going to stretch into January. And she said, "No, Marsha, I need to pay this whole thing at the end by the end of the year because I need to write it off." I was like, "Bet." I was like, "Bet." So higher paying clients, it's just different. They have different issues. They have different motivations, different things you can help them with. So I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. You can invest all of that with me to write it off on your taxes by the end of the year." Absolutely. So higher paying clients, those are the types of issues that they have. They're like, "Nah, we need to spend this bread now." You know what I'm saying? So you may not be used to that, but just know that as you elevate your pricing and your clientele, those are the things that you want to keep in mind. Okay. All right. So those are the 3 levels of clients. So you got your low paying, your mid paying, and your high paying. All right. All right. And then you have your 3 types of designers. All right. So let me just check in with y'all real quick. Looks like we got 4 people on IG. Hopefully you guys, whoever was there, tapped in over on to YouTube and Facebook. If you're still watching on IG, please hop over. I appreciate that. And Devon, what's good? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Alex, what's happening, my brother? What's good? Cool. I need a moderator. Look, we need to get it going. This is episode 1. I'm just out here getting out the mud. What's happening? What's happening, Terrence? All right, y'all. So, got 27 people on. That's what's up. All right, so those are the 3 types of clients, okay? So here are the 3 types of designers. And I like to think of us as like farmers, okay? It's like farmers. So stick with me. So the level 1, I don't really like calling the designers low value, but it's the truth. Level 1, and I was a low value designer before too, okay? So I get it. P. Smith, what's happening, brother? My sister's on here. What's up, Sanita? Okay. Level 1, low value. Attraction phase. Okay. So level 1, if you're a level 1 designer, you're in attraction phase, you're getting that market validation and you're serving. So if you're a farmer, I call this the sowing phase. Okay. I call this the sowing phase. So what does that look like? Level 1, you're doing everything for everybody. You're doing flyers, high volume. So a lot of stuff. You're working very hard, lots of different services. You may be experimenting with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You likely design as a side hustle, part-time, or you do it full-time, but you're kind of frustrated and burnt out. All right. And you're accepting everybody. So in my experience, these designers do between 0 to about 60K a year, but even that's not sustainable just based off of how hard they're working. All right. So that's level 1, 0 to 60K a year. And I call this the sowing phase. All right. Cool. Let me silence the notifications real quick. My bad, y'all. Okay. All right. So level 2, we got the mid-value designers. I call this the growth phase. All right. You're growing. So level 1 is sowing. Level 2 is growing. Okay. You're on an upwards trajectory. I never said that. That word usually trips me up. Growth minded. All right. Continuously working, failing, learning, and adjusting. Committed to growing. You're adding more and more value, and you're starting to niche down. You're starting to turn down unqualified clients rather than level 1 where you're just accepting everything. You're focused on becoming better for your clients. All right. So these designers, in my experience, and the designers that I've talked with, they usually do between 60 to around 200 a year. Okay. That's probably on the higher end, between 60 to 200K a year. Okay. So high value designers. All right. So this is the top level in my experience, right? This is dominance. All right. This is dominance, and this is the reaping season. All right. This is the reaping season. Level 1 was sowing. Level 2 was growing. Level 3 is reaping. All right. You're in demand by high level clients. You pick and choose who you work with. You take clients usually by referral only. You create your own market. You charge what you want. And you have a couple core services provided to a small number of clients at a high price point. And you turn down qualified clients. So even people that are qualified, they have money, they're ready to spend the bread with you. You turn them down. Not all of them, but you kind of pick and choose. Like, yeah, I pick you. And you have to turn the other ones away, either due to you just how you feel. If you just don't have the availability, or you want to plug them in with somebody else. But you start to turn down qualified clients. And you focus on adding value. So stuff that's hard for other designers or on lower levels, is more effortless for you. Okay. And there's just a harmony where you just things are just effortless. All right. So these designers do 200K plus a year. All right. So those are the 3 levels of designers. So it's good to know where you are, realize what level you're on right now, so you can start to think and operate on a higher level even before you are. This is exactly what I did, right? This is exactly what I did. And it really forced me to get creative with the type of value that I was offering to my clients. So you got to realize that it's a long game. So you don't really want to focus on the outcome. You have to focus on the steps. You have to focus on the process, focus on serving, not necessarily focusing on the money. So that's one of the mistakes I see a lot of designers make. It's like, okay, I want to make more money, but they're so focused on trying to make more money. They're not focused on adding value, focused on really thinking about their service and how they serve their clients, like the experience that they give their clients. Okay. So in this video, I'm speaking to those on like the lower level, the lower 2 levels. Okay. Level 1 and level 2, because those are the ones that we will be put out of business during the recession. I don't really have any other way to say it, but I see it happening. I had somebody post in my group today when I posted this flyer. It was like, man, I just put up a post on my Instagram saying I was going to be closing up shop at the end of the year. I really need to see this video. So I see it happening all the time. And even during the pandemic, right? Just full disclosure, a lot of designers, at least that I knew, businesses shriveled up, struggling, and my business doubled. I did $480,000 during the pandemic. Well, 2 years, 2020 and 2021, $480,000. It was like 214 and then 266. So at the end of the pandemic, like the beginning of the year, I'm like, so what happened? You know what I'm saying? Because I started my graphic design group, good to go, at the beginning of the pandemic before it happened. Because I was like, all right, I want to start giving nuggets away. Next thing you know, I just got so busy, so hammered with work that my business exploded. So it's kind of off and on in that group. But anyway, at the beginning of this year, end of last year, I'm like, so what happened? So I started asking questions, and I was coaching designers, talking with more and more designers. I started writing down and really analyzing everything. Okay, so what am I doing that they're not doing? And what mistakes are they making that they need to adjust? So, you know, that's what I've really been working on as I've been coaching and answering questions over the past year or so. So let me see. Let me just check in with y'all again. Kia, what's happening? Dewan, so you popped over on the YouTube. I appreciate it. Marquise, man, it's good to see you, my guy. Brandon, what's happening? Yes, YouTube or Facebook is fine. Charnice, what's happening? Be it Instagram, seems looks like we got 6 people on here, but if you're on Instagram, I recommend you hop over onto YouTube or Facebook, so I don't have to do this, because I will miss you guys. Sorry. Yes. All right. So look, but I want to tell you guys, you know, I use the farmer analogy. The ground is super fertile. The ground is so fertile in this space. It's an emergency. I'm going to tell y'all that. The people in my group, you know the situation. It's an emergency, y'all. So this is what's happening. I said the middle class, lower class is getting squeezed out. Same with designers. So there, all these new, like for example, during the pandemic, more millionaires were created during the pandemic than ever before. So I positioned myself a certain way. Just before that, I don't know if I'll share the story on this video, maybe on part 2 or part 3, but I positioned myself just in time to serve higher level clients. So as all these new millionaires were being created, they were like, all right, so we have more design needs. We need a higher level designer that serves us. Who's out there? I'm like, hey, look, I got you. So and then, you know, I was positioned. So if you don't level up, you're going to get lost in the sauce, and you cannot get lost in the sauce, y'all, because you're going to be put out of business during this recession. So you really have to think about, how are you differentiating yourself from everybody else? Like, are you even niche down? Who do you speak to? Are you speaking to everybody? What types of services are you doing? Are you doing everything? So when you're doing everything, a whole bunch of services for everybody, you're not differentiating yourself. Okay. It's like you're speaking to everybody. You're really speaking to nobody. Okay. So the only way to move through the levels from the bottom level to the top, the only way, to be honest, is through time, reps, and experience. But here's a quick way to speed up the process. Okay. This is your number one, your first piece of homework. Okay. This is your first piece of homework for everybody who's watching this. If you're a designer, you're not making 6 figures yet, this is it. Increase your prices right now. I know it's scary and it seems counterintuitive. And I'm challenging you to increase your prices before you add any more value. So people get it wrong. They're like, all right, so I need to do X, Y, and Z before I increase my prices. Nah. So shout out to Dewan. Where's my guy, Dewan? He was the first one. So he kind of got me used to doing that. He's the first one several years ago. Was like, bruh, just double your. I think I was charging maybe $350 for logos at the time. He was like, bruh, just double it to $700. When I tell you I was sweating, my underarms was sweating, my belly button was sweating. I was like, nah, bro. Like, my client's gonna think I'm crazy if I double my prices. But I did it. I quoted somebody. It was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not surprised because I was getting a steal anyway. Like, your prices were already low. I was like, really? Wow. So people started paying it. It was crazy. It was crazy. And what it did was it forced me to justify it. So in my head, I'm laying up at night like, okay, I'm charging more. So how can I add more value to feel comfortable with charging these prices? And, as I do more research, I do more reading, I watch people like we all do, like The Future, Chris Doe, and they talk about the same thing. Even Blair Enns, he's like the GOAT's GOAT, right? He was like, you have to charge more first because it forces you to show up in a larger way at a higher level and add more value to your clients. It forces you to justify it. And if you can't justify it, then it is what it is. You're going to get exposed. But it's like survival. Like you don't want to get exposed, right? You want to just double your prices and all of a sudden it's like you got a crappy product. You're going to know in your heart whether you can do it or not. So those who really can't justify it and aren't going to be able to justify it when they do it, they're not going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, the market's going to tell them, bruh, no, we ain't paying that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that's going to be step number one, y'all. Increase your prices. We did a double your rate challenge in the group probably about a year ago. I know Knock, he quadrupled his rate. The client went for it. My man Aaron doubled his rate. The client went for it. The thing is, look, this is it. This is the thing, y'all. We're charging pennies. We're charging, even me, like my highest offer right now is usually between 20 to 25,000. Even that's pennies compared to what other people were charging. So it's if you got a $1,500 offer, doubling it to $3K, you got a $500 offer, doubling it to $1,000, it's still pennies. Somebody's going to pay it. Somebody's going to pay it. And when you start doing that, you start to get more confident. You start to increase your value as well. Like, okay, what types of services can I add? Or what can I do? And the thing is, it's a whole strategy to it, y'all. I don't have time to get into it right now. But there are ways you can increase the perceived value of your offers and your packages without adding a whole bunch of extra work. But like I said, you can increase your prices right now. 99.9% of the designers I speak with, even myself, could just increase their prices. I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can just increase your prices without doing any extra work and people will still pay it. Right? So yeah, that's going to be your number one piece of homework, y'all. All right. So we talked about the why. Makes you uncomfortable. It sets yourself apart. It challenges you to think of ways to increase your value. It exposes your weaknesses. If you can't stand on your increased prices, you'll know it. So if you're thinking, boy, you tripping, you're crazy, you're crazy. I'm telling you, it works. It works. Okay. So that's the number one thing you can do to increase your revenue right away. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, look, I'm challenging you guys. I typically reserve this for the challenges inside the group. I'm challenging you guys to, pick, I don't know if it's your flyer prices. I know I see designers that can design circles around me. This is a whole nother topic, y'all. Skill is such a small set. I see designers who can design circles around me 2 and 3, 4 times better than I am skill wise. And they charge $50 for a flyer, $100 for a flyer. Bro, if you don't charge $300 for that flyer and stop playing, when I was doing flyers a la carte, I was charging $300, and it was like, it was good. It was fine. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like doing flyers at all. But the clients would still pay it happily. They would happily pay it and go on about their business and leave me feeling like they got to steal. You know what I'm saying? So especially if you're in a flyer game, that's a whole nother topic. I could do a whole lesson on flyers alone. Because it's a lot of designers out here, they just doing flyers and flyers. I don't want to get too deep. If you're in my group, we'll probably go deeper into it. But all they do is post flyers, post flyers, post flyers. But then they wonder why high-paying clients aren't coming to them because all they're posting is low-value work. I don't want to sound like Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? But if your flyers are cool, they're beautiful. But it's probably the lowest value thing that we do as designers. You know, it's for a quick event in most cases, unless it's like a full package that includes branding for a conference and signage and all of that. A flyer, that's low value, no matter how beautiful it is. High value clients, they're like, okay, that's all they post, and that must be all they can do. They probably don't do X, Y, and Z. They probably don't do full branding. They probably don't do websites or whatever. They probably don't do full packages because you post an a la carte flyers here and there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways that designers scare away high paying clients, not even realizing that's one of them. Your flyers are beautiful, but it seems like it's a trend where designers post flyers just for other designers. Like, oh, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? It is nice. Shout out to you. We got inspiration. It's dope. Right on. But you scaring away high paying clients because they don't really see what your real skill set is, thinking holistically about their design needs. Like, what is their most expensive problem that they have? Figure that out and try to solve that. Like, what is the transformation that you're creating for your client? You're not doing that with a flyer. I'm not saying don't do flyers, but if that's all you're posting, it just shows the clients that that's all you can do. Okay. So like Halsey said, I'm not saying don't do them, but don't be posting them. You know what I'm saying? Not at the rate that you do. So even when it comes to niching down, I'm not saying don't serve other people outside of your niche, but don't post that stuff. Only post the type of stuff that you want more of. Okay. When it comes to projects. So even if it's like a smaller project, I say if it's I tell designers this, like, you need a case study, you did a dope logo, go ahead and build out the rest of the assets. Go ahead and do the social media templates, the cover photos, for their business pages, maybe a business card design. Make it a whole branding suite. Put that on your website as a case study or and just in your portfolio, and then send it to the client just for the love. Say, look, just did this for you, no charge, boom. You just wanted to send it your way, put it in your portfolio. Because when a higher paying client comes there and comes to your website and they see that whole branding suite, they're like, okay, yeah. They're not gonna be expecting to spend $50. They're gonna be like, okay, this is gonna be $2-3K or whatever. So that's a quick hack right there as well. All right. So we got any questions so far, y'all? I know I'm kind of getting into a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's so true, Jen. Only post the stuff you want more of. Only post the stuff you want more of. And we posting everything. I used to be guilty of that. I used to be posting a whole bunch of stuff, business card designs, and then I'll be mad when somebody come to me for a bit. Bro, can you help me with a business card design? But that's what I posted, so that's what they would come to me for. If it was part of a larger package, it would be easy to say, look, you know what? This is only part of a package that I do. This is an example of this package. All right. Sharnice, I appreciate it. I do. We got 40 people on this joint. Wow. Chanel, what's good? IG, Daisha, what's happening? If you guys could pop over to I'm tired of saying, I'm not going on IG no more. I love y'all, but this is ghetto to me. Instagram, get it together. All right. Cool. All right, y'all. So now we're going to get into the tough love section. Okay. I wanted to call this the tough love series, but like I told you, I ran the poll in the group and the Recession-Proof designer came out on top. All right. So we kind of already talked about this. The number one reason designers aren't making any real money is because they're too focused on making the money. You got to be focused on serving, got to be focused on getting your reps and getting better, being more valuable, offering better solutions, and providing a high level of service to your clients, giving them better outcomes and results. And this is another thing, y'all. I see this a lot. Designers probably don't even realize this. And nobody really talks about this. Your client, the whole main character energy thing. If you want to be a high level designer, I'm talking making $250K plus, your clients have to be the main character. You got to go sit down somewhere. There's no other way to say it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be popular and broke, or you want to be in behind the scenes and being able to take care of your family well. That's why I have the mantra, profit over popularity. When it comes to designers, because of what we do, it's just so many things against us right now. Trauma from other designers as a whole, y'all, like our industry, at least individuals, freelancers, Black freelancers in particular, we just got a bad rap. Unreliable, don't communicate. I've been guilty of this too myself. That's how I know. And then I see the same things. And when clients come to me now, the stuff that I hear from them, it's the same stuff going on. Don't communicate, ghosting folks, not giving them their source files. It's a whole bunch of mess, to be honest. So we got to do better, okay? And it's easy to do better when you know what not to do. Communicate. Have a higher level of service. Over communicate. You know what I'm saying? Don't over promise and under deliver. And you know how it is. You get that deposit check. Everything's going good leading up to the project. You get the deposit. You kick it off, and then they don't hear from you. And then the excitement fizzles off. And then next thing you know, you taking on more than you can handle. Projects start piling up. The delivery is hit or miss. You may be missing deadlines. The quality just isn't there because you're cramming it in on the last day or the day it's supposed to be due. Ask me how I know this. Okay, ask me how I know. So overall, the delivery, the execution just isn't there. So when you execute at a higher level and say, look, I'm not doing that. I'm going to over communicate even when it is uncomfortable. Like I told one of my mentees, I'm like, bruh, if you're going to be late or if you got stuff going on, let the client know. They rather you let them know than leave them hanging. Okay. One of my favorite books, it's in my top 5 for graphic designers. It's called Burn Your Portfolio Stuff They Don't Teach in Design School, But Should by Michael Janda. Get that book, y'all. It's called Burn Your Portfolio Stuff They Don't Teach in Design School, But Should by Michael Janda. He talks about the WWW. It's like never let the clients have worry, wonder, and I don't forget what the other W is, but never leave them like that. Never leave them in that place where they have to wonder and worry. And then, because the thing is, as you start to increase your prices, at least with me, I feel like, maybe I made this up in my mind, the client is always second guessing if it was a good decision. You know what I'm saying? Because my prices are on the high side. So like they excited going into it, but I have to continuously prove. It's like, what have you done for me lately? I have to continuously prove like, okay, so they can be like, okay, this is why we spent that bread. And every one of my clients, if they're married, they got to consult with their spouse anyway before they spend bread with me. So I think about them and their spouse when I'm working on that stuff. I'm like, nah, I got to make sure I deliver at a high level on time because I don't want to disappoint them and I don't want to disappoint their spouse because they already had to get their okay anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to go to the spouse and the spouse be like, okay, I get it now. That's why he charges that much. Because in most cases, they don't see it until they get the final product. The client is the one that has to do all the convincing. Like, come on, look, this is who he's worked with. This is the stuff he's done. Yeah, I know it's a lot, but we can, you know what I'm saying? When we get it, this is, and the client's like, all right, yeah, okay, I trust you, but they're still skeptical. It's still skeptical. So you have to deliver at such a high level that it knocks all that out the water. You have to go from being looked at as expensive to being looked at as, oh, we might have got to steal. We might have got to steal. So you have to deliver. Your level of value has to be so much higher than what you're charging, no matter what you're charging. All right. So keep that in mind. What's good? What's good, IG? All right. Ghosted you on Instagram. I'm sorry, man. Look, I'm going to be honest. I probably ghost most people on Instagram right now. But this is a good lesson, y'all. I'm glad you brought this up. Look, I'm about to get in my bag. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so Peter, we're going to use this as a lesson. This is for my designers. I don't know if you're a designer, Peter, or not. Probably not. But let's pretend you aren't. I don't know if you are. Let's say you're a potential client. Designers, check this out. People hit you in your DMs. You don't have to respond. Send them through your appropriate channels. That's why it's so important that you have how to contact you if you want to be contacted via your Instagram profile. Have your website in your profile. Have it in your profile so people know how to contact you. Okay? So people like that, I want people who are motivated to work with me. They find a way to reach me. Okay? They will go to my website. If they say, okay, quick DM didn't work. Let me do some research. How do I reach him? Let me find his website because most people have websites these days. Let me go to his website, fill out the contact form. That's the form. That's the appropriate channel to reach me to do business. I'm a high level designer. Okay. I'm not in the DMs. You know, I don't do that. I don't have time for that. I got a wife and 4 kids and I'm a high level service provider. Okay. Send people through your appropriate channels. Okay. And this is another thing. People will hop in somebody did it yesterday. You got time for a quick call? No. Yo, designers, we have to have control. You have to have control. And the thing is, high level clients, they appreciate that. They like that. Low level clients, they scurry away. And that's what you want. You want to operate where you're going, not where you're coming from. Okay? Not where you're coming from. So it's just a lot of so when your designers are looked at as commodities, and that's what a lot of us are looked at, we're expected to respond to any old channel. I sent you a DM on Instagram. I tried to send out no. Go to my website and then, fill out the form if I get back to you, if you're qualified to work with me, if I think we may be a good fit for each other, and I'll reach back out, then I'll tell you next steps, my pricing and availability. Because clients try to dictate. They try to dictate in the DMs, and a lot of times they just don't know until we tell them. You know what I'm saying? Until we tell them. So, Peter, my bad. It is what it is, my brother. Okay. Cool. That was a good lesson. I'm glad you mentioned that. Cool. All right, y'all. So, like I was saying, the clients have to be the main character. Okay. The clients have to be the main character. You got to sit down. You got to play the back. I see a lot of designers, they want to be at the forefront. And that's why this is a little weird to me now, because I'm making a shift into training and content creation where it's like, all right, I got to do everything that I've done over the years for my clients, for myself, as far as branding, put myself out there, flyer with myself on it. This is weird. But designers do that, put themselves on flyers and doing a whole bunch of stuff. They ain't making no money. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You on social media all the time. This is another mistake designers make. It just says to a higher level client, you got time to be on social media. You know what I'm saying? You got time to be on social media. So you want to just play the back, be in a way you don't need to be posting every single day, you know, because clients like to work with people who are busy, like high paying clients. Like, it's crazy how it works. They like to work with high level people who are too busy to be on social media all the time. Okay, that's another thing. Let me just check in with the comments. Yes, qualify your client. That's good. What's good, IG? There's only 2 people on there. Cool. So I guess people are getting the message. All right, we got 39 people, 40 people on here. All right, y'all. So this is another thing. We're in the tough love section right now. If you're just joining in, just talked about your clients have to be the main character. You got to play the back. You got to pump them up. You got to pump them up, because high level clients, they don't really like working with the designer who wants to be the center of attention. They just don't like that. That's why you go on my IG is I don't have 20, 30, 40,000 followers, but I'm probably humbly, revenue wise, doing much more revenue than your typical designer who may have a lot more followers, because I'm in the back. I'm the 2-man behind my clients. I'm pumping them up. My job is to pump you up and increase your visibility, which in turn increases your impact. Okay? So when I'm trying to do that for myself and do it for my clients, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. So think about that too. All right. What's good, y'all? Yeah, your clients have to be the main character. Okay. Social media strategy. So this is what I recommend. So this is the thing. Social media for high level designers. When you're kind of starting off, you kind of have to work with everybody. So there are 2 levels of success, and I got this from Blair Enns. The first level you get to by saying yes to almost everything. It really just depends on where you are. The second level you get to by saying no to almost everything. So as soon as you get about 50 clients, you have a good enough data sample to figure out who it is you enjoy working with the most, who has the means to pay you what you're worth, and who truly values what you do. So you can start to narrow down who you work with. And as you start to narrow down who it is you work with, let's say, you know, out of 50 clients, 5 of them are real estate agents, 5 of them in the beauty lane, 5 of them are doctors, kind of like that. Or you have a good enough data sample where you start to have like groups of folks, right? You can say, okay, out of those, I like to work with the real estate agents the most. So let me focus on the real estate. You have to niche down. And as you do that, and even before you do that, you want to post the stuff that your target clients will like to see. Okay. And you don't have to do that every day, because if you're working on higher level packages, let's say you're working on a complete rebrand, you're not posting rebrands every day. Right. So let's say it's once a week. And maybe something helpful every now and then. I'm not the best on social media, you know, as far as doing it all the time, but I know how to get a bag in graphic design. So this is what I recommend. Like, I just don't think you should be on there all the time, because it just says you're too busy, unless you have a team. But if you have a team, you don't even need to be on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably already making that multiple 6 figures. So my recommendation would be, you know, whenever you get done the branding package or whatever it is for that specific type of client, post that, because you just want to post the stuff that you want more of. So that would be my recommendation. And the thing is, as you start to niche down, you'll start to get, the word of mouth will start to go so crazy that you won't really even need to post like that. You know what I'm saying? So my business Instagram, for example. I haven't posted since the beginning of the pandemic. You may go on there and think I'm out of business. Why? Because the word of mouth. Business has been running on word of mouth really almost the whole time. But I did post more frequently early on when I was just getting started. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Okay. What about the client who gives you the deposit is the one who ghosts you? That's happened to me. It hasn't happened in a while for me, but this is what I see when this happens. This is what I see when this happens with clients who ghost you. You're not charging that much, so whatever they paid, they don't really value it like that. They don't really value your service like that. So you want to be using contracts as well, so you want to have that in there. And it depends on what you want to do as well, because like if you have it in your contract, okay, and this is what I do. I'll keep it 100% real with y'all. I don't start any project until I have what I need. You know what I'm saying? I don't start anything until I have what I need. So like, you're not about to pay me a deposit. I don't have what I need. It's like everything happens at one time in order for me to get started, because I have other clients. So you have to let the clients know, like, you're busy. Like, you don't have time to be sitting around waiting for them. Like, we're getting started on this date and we have to be done by this date. It has to be very clear, because if you don't set those expectations and if it's not in the contract, that's how scope creep happens. Where the scope just balloons out of control, his stuff is vague. Ask me how I know. I had a client, I had a project that lasted 1.5 years because I didn't have the expectations lined up. I didn't have them laid out. So she had revisions. She would go missing for 2, 3, 4 months. Then come back, like, okay, I'm ready. I got this and this and that. I have no contract. So what was I supposed to do? That was one of those tough lessons I had to learn. Okay, going forward in my contract, it needs to be spelled out. Okay, deposits paid, send the information, questionnaire, we do the strategy session, whatever. All of that needs to happen at once. It needs to be clearly defined. And the thing is, as you start to increase your value, increase your prices, increase your clientele, you won't have that problem. That's like a lower paying client type of issue. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it depends on what you want to do with it. What I would likely do if they come back and say, hey, look, here's your money back. It's not going to be a good fit. But if it's not defined in the contract, it's just more gray. I don't like gray area. And I did enough gray area. You know what I'm saying? I don't like gray area. But you may be in a place of gray area where it's like you could choose to go ahead and pick back up on the project if you want, or you could say, look, here's your money back. I don't have the availability right now. I'm sure you can understand that. We expected to get started at this time and we didn't. But if things change, I don't know what happened. You try to get them to maybe tell you what happened, but at this point it doesn't matter. But maybe if things change in the future, then maybe we can revisit this. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is another thing I want to talk about. Let me check in. Tim, what's good, my brother? You say you would pop on. Big bro in the building. Okay. Designers. Okay. So Charlotte has designers since, that's a comment right there. 2016 built 500 brands, 330 plus websites, have 45K followers on IG, but gets 0 biz on IG. Wow. Local Facebook groups work best for me. So I don't know your situation, Charlotte, but it looks to me like you're not niche down. I could be wrong, but with my coach's hat on, it seems like you're probably doing everything for everybody. You got the followers, you got a lot of brands that you built, websites, but you're probably not, if you got that much, unless you're doing 500 brands in one niche. I have 600 clients total, like in 6 years. Total. So if you're probably not niche down. When you are, look, check this out. I'm gonna give you a quick example. I talked about this on one of my IG reels. Specialization is so real, like it's so key. There was a video editor on Instagram. He has like 200 followers. And he said in his profile something, look, I create high performing reels for coaches. In my head is a trigger, like ding, ding, ding. Look, I'm moving into this coaching space. He serves coaches. Let me see what he's about. Let me go on his website. The followers didn't matter at that point. And that's kind of how, I guess, maybe how I've had some success as well, because look, I say I serve speakers. And then as I started to elevate, I serve high performing, I serve 7-figure speakers. So it reminds me of a few years ago on Facebook, people like, hey, post on Facebook, who does websites, who does logos? 40 people get tagged, 40 designers get tagged. Hey, you check out him, they're the best. Check out, I get tagged by like maybe 4 or 5 people But because I say I serve speakers, I will always, if they're a speaker, a coach, consultant, because I said I serve speakers in my marketing and on my website, I always get a long, hard look, the first look, because I say I serve you. So I'll just eliminate the competition off rip. Whether they could afford me or not, that's a different story. But I always I rise to the top of the pile because I'm clear who I serve. So Charlotte, you probably aren't doing. I could be wrong, but you probably aren't doing that right now, because if you did, your market will come to you not only from word of mouth, but as you post. Like every time I post on my Instagram, like when I was posting stuff, I would get DMs, I would get messages, I would get emails and contact for work from people in my niche. Because that's I'm intentional about speaking to them. Like my marketing message is very clear. Okay. So I could be wrong, but that's just from boom. My diagnosis was correct. See, I could tell. It's when you niche down, look, this is difficult to do. It's difficult to do, but if you do it, it'll pay off. It'll pay off. This reminds me of my guy, David. My man niched down from the jump. He said, look, I have no clients. He didn't even have the data sample that I recommend. He said, I'm going to serve doctors. I see the white space there. I'm going to do branding and websites for doctors. That's what I'm going to do. My man ain't have no business for like 3 months, but as soon as he got that first doctor, it led to the next one, then the next one, and the next one. My man probably does $300 to $400K a year now within 2 years, because he said that I serve doctors. He was clear about that from the jump. So that just shows you the power of it. It's going to be difficult. You may feel like you're leaving money on the table when you niche down, but you're not. You just start rising to the top. You start rising to the top, and it's almost like a laser is being focused on you. So everybody that meets your criteria in terms of the avatar, the persona that you want to appeal to, they'll not naturally gravitate towards you. And the thing is, when you start to niche down, you already have a couple people in your data sample anyway. You just got to be more intentional about getting those testimonials, showcasing those case studies, and then crafting your marketing message on your website to speak to them, okay, in a way that that'll appeal to them. All right, y'all. I know I'm probably way over. I already covered really what I wanted to cover, but I got a couple more things I want to get into real quick about social media. So we talked about the clients have to be the main character. This is just a little extra, just some extra sauce on the top of this session for designers, because this is a big mistake that I see designers make. I used to be guilty of it, but stop talking about stuff on social media that isn't going to further your business or paint you in a favorable light for your clients. All right. I'm not saying it's going to be unfavorable, but don't distract potential clients. And it depends on how you want to use it too. But in my opinion, at least in my experience, social media is a very powerful tool for people to at least do their research on you and see what you're about. Okay. So some examples. I got some examples I want to share with you guys. So we know everything is happening right now. For example, The Little Mermaid. The whole, I mean, everybody's posting about The Little Mermaid. And then posting with white people saying about The Little Mermaid, with black people are responding with. It's entertaining. It is, you know what I'm saying? But talk about that stuff with your spouse if you want to, amongst your friends, but not on social media, y'all. Not on social, high-paying clients, they pop on your stuff, even corporate clients. I think about the corporate clients I work with. I have a 6-figure corporate client. If they popped on my social media, saw me talking about Little Mermaid and Ariel and posting all of these different memes and the video movie covers with people's faces, Photoshop. Bruh, you don't got time for that. Come on now. Don't do stuff like that. You fumbling the bag. You operating at a lower frequency. If you already made it, if your revenue is where you want it to be, because there's a couple people that I follow that they're qualified to do that type of stuff. They good. You know what I'm saying? They don't get their clients. They're good. Like they got 30, 40, 50, 60K recurring coming in a month. They're straight. But if you're out here, you're not even making 6 figures and your business is online, you're a designer and you posting that type of stuff, don't do that. Don't do that. Ariel, whether or not P&B rocks, girlfriend set him up. How you really feel about Queen Elizabeth? Juanita Bynum's prayer conference. Stuff like that. And I know some people that, they made it already. They may say a little something about a quick jokey joke. But you post stuff like that, it just says to a higher paying client, you got time to be doing that. And then you're not focused on serving you. So maybe I'm different because I have a wife and 4 kids. So if I'm not serving my clients, I may post whatever business related. I'm spending time with my wife and family. It may be different for those who don't have a family. And then, but you see where I'm going with this? It just looks bad. You know what I'm saying? Or it just doesn't look good to a higher paying client. Who may have 10, 20K they're ready to spend, and they may pop on, they do their research. They go on your IG, go on your Facebook, see what you're really about, see what you're posting about, see what people are posting about you, and they see all you're really posting about is stuff like that. It just looks bad, y'all. Don't do that. Stop doing that stuff, okay? From the bottom of my heart, stop doing that. Don't do that. That's the way you gonna add money to your revenue right there. Just don't do that. If you want to talk about that stuff, talk about it with your spouse, amongst your friends, maybe in a private group or something. But don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Why not? Because I see it. Why do I know these? Because I see it, and I'm not saying I don't chuckle. The chucklage happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't talk about it with my wife, but you ain't gonna see me posting about it. You are not. You are not gonna see me posting about it. I'm not saying if it's like a major topic. Look, take a stand, sign a petition, whatever, but don't be posting about that stuff. It just says you got the time. Okay, it just says you have the time. You need to come across like I don't have the time. I'm serving my clients at a high level, and when I'm not, I'm spending time with my family. I'm not. If I got to post something, it's going to be business related or whatever, a little personal touch here and there. I'm not the social media expert, but I'm just telling you from my experience, what clients, what appeals and what doesn't appeal to a higher paying client. Okay. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys for this episode. So just to recap, we talked about the 3 types of clients: low paying, mid paying, higher paying clients. I got something else to share with you guys really quickly. The 80-20 rule. Some of you guys may be familiar with the 80-20 rule. It basically says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Okay, but I see so many different manifestations of the 80-20 rule. Like, for example, I feel like 80% of the profits that are to be made as graphic designers come from 20% of the designers. 20% of designers make 80% of the profits. So I see so many designers, I don't even know how to explain it. They fighting for scraps. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for scraps when they are phenomenally talented. They just making so many small mistakes. Here's another quick example. I'm probably getting into too much in this episode, but this is another thing I see designers do. They're scaring away high paying clients. You try to convince, I shouldn't go into this right now, but you try to convince your existing clients, your lower paying clients, to spend more or to really value their brand when they're just not going to. You have your 2 types of clients: those who shop based on price, they want the best deal, and those who shop based on value. So trying to convince those clients who shop based on price, in most cases, it's not ideal. Because if you do convince them, they don't really truly value it. They're going to be the ones that give you more of a hard time, or they're going to be the ones that give you a charge back. You don't want to do that. Okay. You don't want to do that. So, you really want to try to appeal to a higher paying client, even if you're not working with them yet. You want to do that. So you want to get away from using words that appeal to lower paying clients, like on your website, like free consultation, words like affordable, quick turnaround, stuff like that. It sounds cool, but it only appeals to lower paying clients that are looking for that stuff. Higher paying clients, they could care less about a free consultation. They assume that if there is a consultation, it will be free. Maybe if they have to pay for it, they'll pay for it. Quick turnaround, affordable. That is not speaking to them. That's speaking to a low paying client. So they're like, they're not going to be like, affordable, great. Let me reach out right now. If anything, that may be like, they doing quick what are they using? Templates, affordable? They're not for me. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, quick turnaround. Clients. I mean, I found that some of my high paying clients, they like stuff more quickly, but they know that you can't rush greatness. Stuff takes time. And the thing is, when you operate at a higher level, a lot of the stuff they can resonate with themselves. So if they have a business, they're not advertising quick turnaround, free consultation, affordable. They're not on that frequency, so they don't expect you to be on that frequency. You know what I'm saying? So when they see stuff like that, it kind of turns them off. They're like, this is another, commodity designer. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's it for this one, y'all. But yeah, just the homework, y'all. I'm just challenging you guys. I want to hear some success stories too. Increase your prices. Increase something. Pick one service you offer, double it. Okay? Double it. And I want to hear some success stories. So when it comes to success stories, I'm inviting all designers who are watching this to join us in my free Facebook group called Good to Goat. So you just search Good to Goat. I'm gonna type it in here. Well, I guess it's just on YouTube. Good to Goat. Good, the number 2, and then Goat. And it's also good to goat.group. Group, y'all. But yeah, we'll keep the conversation going, and I'll be back on here on Thursday for part 2. So I have 4 different videos mapped out. So I'll be on here Thursday, next Monday, and then next Thursday as well. We'll wrap up next Thursday. But yeah, I can answer some questions if you guys have any. But yeah, hopefully you guys got some value from this. Yes. Yep. So this will be online, Peter. This will be online. J. Cole, what's good? Good to see you, man. It's lovely to see family up in here. Show up as a pro. Yup. That's it, y'all. Okay. I'm just trying to run through and see if we got any questions. Artist first, designer second. Chris, what's good, my brother? Artist first, designer second. That's over my head, bro. So this is a quick nugget on that. So, shout out to Douglas Davis. He has the book, The Creative Strategy and the Business of Design. It's a phenomenal book. It's in my top 5. I'm gonna release my top 5 as a YouTube video at some point. But, The Creative Strategy and the Business of Design by Douglas Davis. He talked about when he articulated it in a way I never heard before. He said art is creative expression. Design is art for a commercial purpose. So it really helped to draw that line between art and design. Like artists, I know artists, and I know designers. So it's like art is like, you're more creative. It's more your personal touch, your personal flavor. It's more beauty, like you said, creative expression. Design, in most cases, it has a commercial purpose. What we do is to make you more money. We're not just trying to make stuff look cute. We're not just in the business of making stuff look cute, y'all. Y'all need to know that and articulate that to your clients, especially if they treat you like, oh, you are just somebody to make something look good. No, we're doing this for a reason. Like we're doing this to get you results, to make you more money, to get you more exposure, to make that book a bestseller, for people to pick that sucker off the shelf. Like, what is this? To give you confidence to show up as an authority, a visual authority, wherever you go. I think about one of my clients, Sherry Riley. She said that once her whole rebrand was done, her site was done, she sat down with a client. It was a 6-figure client. And they said, hey, all right, well, this is great. Send us your website, send us a proposal afterwards, and we'll let you know. She said she sent them the website. They said, we don't need a proposal. We're ready to work. So they saw everything they needed to see from her website because of how she showed up on her website, because of her brand, because of the time and attention that we spent on it, for her to show up as that 7-figure business, as that high level before she was even at that level in terms of revenue and business, right? So this is what we do. These are the transformations that we give our clients, right? And the confidence is a big key. Like we struggle with confidence ourselves, but what we do, it gives clients that confidence to show up, because a lot of the times they show up to you with all of these ideas and like just their whole business in their head a lot of the times. So when you do strategy with them, you help them to fine tune all of that and articulate it to put it down on paper and really help them to identify and prioritize who they're speaking to, their target markets, right? And a lot of times my clients are like, Marshall, this is like therapy. I never really verbalized this with anybody. It was all in my head. Get it out of their head, down in black and white. And that informs the visuals, that informs the branding, that informs everything. And the branding, once that's done, that just creates the whole design language for the rest of their brand. Just like that. Once you go through that whole process, it's almost like a cape that they put on, y'all. It's like you gave them a cape. They like now I feel like I'm fully me. Like I feel like I can truly articulate my value and my brand, my visual brand. When people Google me, when they come into contact with any of my touch points, whether it's my website, my social media, I'm showing up like I know I can show up. I'm showing up how I like I show up in my business, with my products and services. I'm showing up at that level. So the stuff isn't out of sync. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Absolutely. Yep. We solve design problems. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Burn your portfolio. Cool. Jasmine, great to see you. Great to meet you. Yes, definitely tune in. Join the group if you're not already in there. If you're a designer, please join the group on IG. If you guys are designers, join the group. Tiana, what's good? Uncle William, what's good? Darius, what's good? Justin, what is good? All right, yeah, if y'all could just join Good to Go if you are a designer. I'm gonna put it in here too. Goodtogo.group. And we'll keep the conversation going. All right, y'all got any more questions for me? Chris, what's happening, bro? It's good to see y'all, man. Yes, it will be available. Should be available. As soon as it's over, it'll be available. I know we got into a lot. It's probably all over the place, but hopefully you got some value from this, y'all. I'm going all in. Like I told you, by the grace of God, I hit $1 million. So it's time. It's been time. I've been talking about it in my group for like a couple years, but now it's time. It's time to get the game away because a lot of designers are struggling. And like I said, a lot of designers are going to be going out of business because of the recession, but you don't have to because there's more high value, high paying clients being created. But it's like the number of the high paying clients is rising. The number of high level designers is not. We not catching up. So we staying on it. We playing it safe down here. And now I see it. Like I have a couple mentees. One mentee came to me. He's like, look, a client came to me. She said, look, I'm paying another designer this. What you gonna do? It's like, bro, she's expecting you to outbid this other designer. That's the stuff that's happening right now on that lower level. You don't want to get stuck at the bottom competing on price. You got to differentiate yourself, raise your value, niche down, increase your prices. It's a step-by-step process, which I'll get into at a later date. But you have to do it now because you'll get put out of business, y'all. You'll get put out of business. And like we have the ability to sit here, air conditioning, clicking around on the computer. You guys see my vlog, I'll be on the couch on my do-rag 99.9% of the time and make a great living. More than doctors, pharmacists, a lot of people out here, y'all, pilots, just by clicking around. You know what I'm saying? I know it takes more mental and stuff like that, but that's what we have the ability to do. So I just want you guys to see that. That's why I kind of made that milestone public because I need other designers, especially black designers, to know what's possible. When I first got into this game, like those of you who know me and know my story, my wife is the one that convinced me to do this. I was like, I can't feed my family with no graphic design. And I was trying to be a millionaire. I was like, I can't even make 6 figures as a graphic designer, let alone $1 million. No, I'm not doing that. But here we are. I'm like, wow. Cool. It's like, it should be like a goat, I think, or good to goat. It should be good to goat. And it's good to go.group as well. If you just type that in, it'll take you to the group. Good to go.group, not .com, .group. But cool. All right, y'all. We got any more questions before I pop out? Alrighty. Well, this was fun. I sincerely appreciate everybody for tuning in. We had quite the crowd. Hopefully we keep this momentum going. But this is just the beginning, y'all. The ground is fertile for designers, despite AI, despite Canva, despite Fiverr. That stuff makes us high level designers, high value designers, that much more valuable. So you can go ahead and assume the identity of a high value designer and think of, okay, what would they do? But we'll get more into that, how to do that in the next videos. All right. Appreciate it, Facebook user. I don't know who this is because you didn't click the link in the description, but it's all good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Raina's photography. It's good to see everybody. Purple Paisley Planner. Thanks for showing up. Kismo Party. Great to see everybody. All right, y'all. I'm out. It's my bedtime. Y'all know I get up. Well, some of y'all know I get up super early, so I'm out. Peace.